There was a recent conference of the Ontario Big City Mayors, and to no one's surprise, the trending topic was how to deal with the trade war with the U.S. Since Burlington Mayor Marianne Meed Ward is also the chair of the OBCM, in our weekly chat, I asked if all the mayors were on the same page on ideas related to the trade war topic.
We are actually quite aligned. And one of the things that we unanimously approved was a resolution to federal and provincial governments that if they are announcing stimulus package programs, we want a seat at the table. We can give them information about what would be helpful. We even actually tucked in a few example type projects. I took those from our capital plan existing projects, but just if in case they were looking for what might be a good idea to fund. Here's a few things from each of our municipalities. We also had David Patterson, who is the Ontario representative in Washington, come talk to us about the progress that they're making behind the scenes. And we also had Austin Bonta, who's mayor of Indiana, come and talk to us about the word on the street for American mayors and how they're trying to do their quiet diplomacy. I think that's the word of the day, is quiet diplomacy for many people. So we all have our public statements, but the real work, I think, is happening in those relationships and those rooms where people are trying to say, look, we've got to figure this out together somehow, because it's hurting all of us.
Yeah, no doubt. I think all the mayors are aligned probably on both sides. It just seems to be, one particular person that is making things rather difficult.
Very, very
Let's
chaotic.
Yeah, definitely. So you talked about quiet diplomacy there. Let's talk about something that could get a little bit loud, and that is this Saturday, the organization Millcroft Against Development is holding a rally. Now, this is to protest the development on the Millcroft Golf Course. We've spoken about this many times on the show. However, we're so far into this now. Do you feel as though there's any point to holding a protest such as this, because it feels like the decisions have been made?
I think it's really important for the community to come together and to say that they haven't forgotten that they've asked for this for like many years. Actually, our very first request for provincial intervention was early December 2022. It was one of the first things we did as a new council, and we've been asking ever since. And and the balance of the golf course is still open green space, but that could change. So it's really important to remind people that, whether or not there is success in addressing this one development of 93 homes and stopping that, the rest of the course remains, really up for grabs. And so the community needs to come together and say that all green space is important. Council at Burlington has been unanimous in supporting that, also unanimous at the region. So we are speaking with one voice to the government, continue to ask publicly, privately, for the Premier's intervention in this. Of course, there's a new housing minister, so that request has come his way too.
All right, well, we'll see what happens on Saturday. We will have a reporter out from Halton News as well covering that, and we'll see what goes on. Finally, Burlington's new short-term accommodations bylaw is now in effect. So, this means if someone wishes to run an Airbnb or VRBO with a property they own, they now have to apply for a license. And when I say now, I believe we're meaning now.
Like now, yeah. So we don't want anyone to accidentally not be in compliance with the law. You need to register and get a license. And this is really to help us as a city, help you manage where these things can go, what the condition. There's a whole number of criteria. So I really encourage people who are thinking of doing this or have a current Airbnb to make sure they're in compliance. Basic things like fire safety and parking management, things that you don't necessarily think about when you're, offering your home up for sale. But these are some of the things, our bylaw has been informed by people who have lived through some of the bad actors, I'll say. The people who have let their place be rented to, for the big parties. And, we've had that situation in Burlington. It took us years through the courts to get that finally addressed. So we're hoping that this licensing step will help us get in front of this. and allow people to responsibly rent short term, earn some income while also addressing and protecting the concerns of the community who lives in those same neighborhoods.